Humans. Just like this flame that I have here. They were created just like a flame. And they're very easy to get rid of, just like this flame. But then the smoke remains. As above, so below. As below, so above. As within, so without. Humans, the slave race, they were created for a purpose. And that purpose is to serve the gods, the kings, the queens who were here in the beginning, the ones who landed in the land of ancient Mesopotamia, modern day Iraq. These gods in the Sumerian religion are called the Anunnaki. They landed on Earth and they created humanity to serve them, a slave race, to serve, obey orders without saying anything. This has been encoded in our DNA since day one. That's why scientists say that we have junk DNA. They don't know what it is, junk DNA, but this DNA, they describe it as a DNA that was locked. And I say, my intuition tells me that it was locked on purpose. Locked on purpose because we were supposed to be obedient. We were supposed to obey and serve and not say a single word. Therefore, we don't have the supernatural abilities and powers that the gods have. They were much taller than us, much stronger than us, and they had what we would label supernatural abilities. They could teleport, they could manifest from thin air, they can basically control the elements, the four elements of existence: fire, water, air, earth, and the fifth element, the quintessence, ether. That's what eternity comes from. Ether, the fifth element, the universe, the spirit, the realm of the spirit that we cannot see. In alchemy, that's represented by one of the three elements of alchemy, which is spiritus. We have corpus, animus, and spiritus, which is basically the trinity of mastery, the trinity of creation. But humanity has been locked away from this knowledge. This knowledge has been locked off. It has been hidden for centuries, for generations, for millennia, for thousands of years. Dogmas, religions, and other humans were trying to hide this knowledge from humanity with the purpose of serving and serving and serving and not questioning anything. That's why humans are the masters of worship. You know what really humans are good for? They're good at worshiping. Humans love to worship. They love to follow. They love anything. It could be anything. A god, a deity, a corporation, a CEO, a celebrity, an actor, an actress, a singer. Anything. Give them anything. A social media figure, a boss. It could be just a normal boss. They want to worship. They want to follow because they were coded genetically to behave like that. I don't blame them. But at the same time, I still blame them because humans have advanced. They have progressed. They have reached an amount of knowledge that can allow you to think for yourself. The first Hermetic principle that says the all is mind. There has been many humans in history that created dogmas full of knowledge and wisdom, such as Hermeticism, such as alchemy, such as many of these religions, and there has been also many people who were trying to awaken humanity to the fact that humans can think for themselves. They don't have to follow something. They don't have to worship a god per se to be fulfilled in life. That's not the goal of life is not to worship someone to be fulfilled. Yet humans, that's what they love to do. That's their sole purpose. They devote their whole life to worshiping something because they believe they're going to go to heaven after they die. And they believe that if they don't worship properly, they're going to go to hell. What a stupid, delusional concept that makes you live in delusion and, well, not only that, we have all these monotheistic religions, for example, and other religions that talk about the creation that came from a god. It's always a god. It's never a goddess. It's always a male figure. Yet, humans want equality. Yet, in the human world, females want equality. They want to be human rights and women right and all of this stuff. That's not probably, it's still probably a problem in first world countries still, but in third world countries it still doesn't even exist. Equality between men and women doesn't even exist in third world countries. It's unexistent. But yeah, these same women who wants the equality and everything, they also worship a male god. I find this very amusing. Everyone wants equality, yet we're gonna worship a male god. It's always a he. It's always the god he created everything. If we use our minds and question just a little bit and use our intuition, we're going to realize that this is a load of BS. We are our own gods, and we were created by these ancient supernatural beings. Where did they come from? I don't know. Maybe they were advanced humans. Maybe they did come from another planet. Maybe they did come from the future, and quantum physics and physics can prove that time travel is possible. We just don't have the technology to do it. What if they have reached the technology to do it and they're just time travelers from the future? We don't know. But humans were created to serve, but it's time for them to know that they can become their own gods. Humans have the right to know this. Just like we are advancing in technology and we're starting to create robots and metaverses and virtual realities, and we're creating this artificial intelligence that's going to control everything sooner or later. These ancient gods created us, but we're like very advanced biological robots. We're biological, but we're super advanced. That's the thing we don't know. How does the soul goes into our bodies? That's also a technology, but it's very advanced. But these gods, they knew how to do it. And these concepts, they're very similar. The concepts that humans were created to worship or were created on earth by the gods is in every, not only in Abrahamic religions, it's in every religion in the world. The Egyptians talk about it in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia with the Anunnaki, in the East with the Hindus, even Hinduism. And again, we have it in the Yucatan, in Mesoamerica. It's always the same. It's always the same. That these gods landed on earth from the sky. They created humans, or they made humans smarter. They helped them to become smarter. They created them. But it's always for the purpose of obeying orders. It's always for the purpose of saying yes and not questioning anything. This is even coherent with the story of Adam and Eve, and it took a serpent that is actually Lucifer. He liked humanity and he wanted to help humans to have their own free will and to have their own knowledge. So he helped them by showing Adam and Eve knowledge. That's the apple. The apple represents the knowledge that Lucifer showed Adam and Eve, and he told them, hey, you can have birth to babies if you want to. You can think for yourselves. You can have your own life. You don't have to live in this slavery. You don't have to live here, you know? So the stories have been twisted and they have been manipulated. And the more we dig in history, we can find notions of this, such as the flood of Noah, or the flood of Atlantis, or the deluge, that every civilization have talked about or written before, because it had happened and it was triggered by the God that created humanity, that's supposedly supposed to love humans, but he actually killed them with the flood. In the Anunnaki, that's clearly depicted in the tablets, in the Sumerian tablets, with Enki, the highest ranking god. Sorry, not Enki, Enlil, his brother. Enlil, the highest ranking god, triggering the flood. The Sumerian tablets state this. And his brother Enki is the one who actually created humanity. He was supervising the project of creating humanity. He's the one who actually loved humans. So when Enlil, his brother, wanted to trigger the deluge, the flood, Enki wanted to salvage humanity, so he asked Ziusudra, also known as Noah in Abrahamic religions, he asked Ziusudra to build a boat or ship or whatever that thing is to salvage humanity and animals. So many say that he's the reincarnation, or he is the representation of Thoth, the god, ancient Egyptian god of wisdom. And some even say that he could be Lucifer as well, because he's the one who wanted to show humanity the knowledge of living on their own. And that in Christianity, that thing is represented by the snake, and people say it's Satan, say it's Lucifer. Satan in Hebrew means obstacle. So that's why apparently Lucifer was an obstacle for the plan of God, the plan of keeping humans as slaves and not questioning anything for themselves. But unfortunately, that is ancient history, but now that still persists, it still exists. It has not changed. People still worship, still follow, even within themselves. We don't even need gods anymore. It's just humans worshiping other humans, which is very ironic. So I'm here to share this information because it's time for humans to know this. It's time for them to know that they can be their own gods. They can be their own goddesses. They can create for themselves. You don't have to worship someone. You don't have to worship another human or entity or a god, because you create your own reality. You are your own god. You have your mind. You have your brain. Use it. Ask questions. Be skeptical. Always check the source of where information comes from. And you can create an amazing reality for yourself, which you are going to be the God. If we all live like this, we can create an unbelievable planet that will basically transcend this stupidity of worshiping, this stupidity of following. Many throughout history have fought. They have been burnt at the stake by the Inquisition, by religious groups, to share this information. Let's not waste their lives. They gave their lives so we can have this information nowadays. That includes alchemy, it includes occult information, ancient history, ancient religions. That people like Jesus, like Buddha, like Muhammad, all of these people, these sages that gave their lives to share this information, to show human beings that they can be as sage, as saint, as these saints that have lived. Yet they gave their lives, they were tortured, they were killed. A lot of gifted people, a lot of witches, a lot of alchemists, all of them died. And hopefully not in vain. Hopefully not in vain, because their purpose was to share what I'm telling you right now, to share it and to make this information survive. And I'm so glad that this information is still shared by me to you in 2022 right now. So I hope this helps. This is something that I've been wanting to share with you, because unless we change and we start thinking for ourselves and creating our lives with our own minds, with our own hands, and not just obeying orders, then we will become a better race. Because at this point, we're still a stupid race that's just following things that don't even make sense without questioning why. It's time to start questioning. I hope this helped. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.